Fabric marking pens. It's such a big choice, but they're all fantastic. Vanishing marking pens, these will literally vanish. They're air erasable and they disappear between 24 and 72 hours after you've used them. I've got ones that can be wiped off, and I've got a regular and a fine, and then I've got a brown and a white. So I use the brown on light and I use the white on dark fabrics. Let me show you what I mean. So here I've got some darts to mark, and I'm going to use the brown. I've made a hole in the tissue. I do tiny little dabs at the mark points, and then I'm going to use a pin, push the pin through, and on the underside I can mark it again. And I can do this with all of my marks to make sure that I can do my darts and join all the dots as I need them. Now I can do the same thing with a water erasable pen, and again I've got a medium tip one here, so I can mark my dart position. I've made holes in the tissue, make a pin through the hole and do the other side. Now these are all the water erasable ones, so that's fantastic. So once I've done them, I can get rid of those marks by washing them away. But I can also mark darker fabrics. So here I have a little arm to go on a dolly. So I can draw around the edge using a light colour, and I can literally go all the way around the edge here before I sew it and then cut it out. I just take that out of the way, you can see that I've drawn a line. And again, this is washable. And the nice thing about all these pens, it does say that on them. And then if I was going to do something that I was going to sew almost immediately, that's when the air erasable, these pens are ideal, because if you don't sew it immediately, they will actually fade away on their own. So you'll come back to your work that you've beautifully marked, your seam lines or your placement points, etc., and you find they've all just disappeared. So use this on a project that you're going to sew immediately. So again, I can just follow my pattern, make a nice sewing line or cutting line. This is a sewing line for this. Take the pattern away and I can stitch that nice. It's nice and clear and easy. But what I really like about all of these is that you've got a choice. So I've got the regular. I'll just draw a line. So that's a medium-sized line. Or I can opt for the fine tip. So if I were marking buttonholes or darts, etc., I can just do a really nice fine line. The same with these water erasable ones. I can do a fine line, which is hardly visible, just enough to mark things, or I can do a thicker line, which is more visible. And the nice thing about these lines is that they do wash out easily. So there's a line. So all I have to do is take a damp cloth and dab away that line, and it will disappear. Always remove any marks, wash them away, let them vanish, etc., before pressing with a hot iron.